awesome.
I wonder sometimes how we're born, how we're conceived, how consciousness arises from nothing. Or is it from nothing? Are we simply transubstantiated from our previous spiritual state into a new little embryo? Or when does our spirit enter our bodies? When does our physicality become spiritual? When does our soul enliven, animate our body? Does it happen at conception, the moment of sperm fertilizing egg? Does it happen at the moment of our parents' orgasm? Does it happen at the point of birth? Or is it a gradual thing? I tend to think that it's a process. I tend to think that our spirits are over souls, if you will. Make this agreement while we're out in the spirit world, in the well of souls. We make this agreement with all the other souls there. Say, I'm going to inhabit that persona of this lifetime. I'm going to choose to be Keith this lifetime. So they're going to go this process of this transubstantiation of the spirit, that oversoul, some part of that oversoul, separating, transubstantiating into physical form. And then it takes 9 months. Maybe that process is what guides the development of that embryo. That it just takes 9 months to be born, inhabited by soul. We forget that transubstantiation is a process of the oversoul forgetting and letting go of that oversoulness and becoming just a little baby. And then it takes the rest of our lives after being born to remember that we are divine and we are part of the oversoul. We are of the universal divinity. We are part of the universal divinity. We are children of God.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
What a dreamy time that is to be. What a perfect place to transubstantiate in the womb of our mothers. And I always think of the fact that seawater and amniotic fluid, the fluid that we are surrounded with and that we grow in and that we develop in our mother's belly, is the same chemical composition as seawater. So, what a dreamy, beautiful, peaceful time that is to awaken gradually over the course of 9 months to this life, to forget the spirit world from whence we came. Dreamy time and 15 in our physicality, this humanness, 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 humanness,
About
humanness.
you.